guys, it's Lindsay and Wes here with Pilates On Demand. This is my husband and my trainee today. This is going to be a Pilates for CrossFitters workout on the Reformer. So, you know, he does a bit of CrossFitting himself. Is that what you call it, CrossFitting?
Yeah, I do CrossFit, I do endurance sports, a lot of barbell work, so it equals to very tight muscles.
Yeah, so this class is made to mobilize the body a bit with specific things that you see in a CrossFitter's body that get really tight, like quads, hamstrings. I see a little bit of this like forward flexion of the head and neck. So we'll be watching all of those today. So hopefully this will help you out. So Wes is going to basically demo the exercises and then I'll be cueing them. So without further ado, we have the foot bar up and then we've got a red and we're gonna pop a yellow spring on as well. If you're a little lighter body weight, you could do just a red spring. Otherwise, we're pretty much gonna stay on these springs most of the class, I feel like. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start with an eaves lunge. So I want everyone to stand on the right side of the machine. You're gonna step your right foot forward near the foot bar and then tuck your left toes against the shoulder block and rest the left knee down. Then place your hands on the foot bar. Yep, now you're just gonna glide the Reformer out, sinking into a lunge so that right knee, the standing knee, stays bent, and then glide it back home. Not standing all the way up, but just enough to get a little bit of dynamic movement. So this will be a dynamic stretch. It's going to be a hip flexor stretch for that left leg. And you know, if you are tight, you might feel this even in that standing right hamstring.
Yeah,
so
I feel it in my hamstring.
You do? Okay,
Yeah,
in the standing leg?
Yeah, my hip flexor is fine.
Okay.
But it's a lot right along this hamstring for me.
And then one thing I want you guys to look at is that you want a level pelvis. So these hip bones, the bony parts in the hips, are a good indicator of what's happening. One, you don't want one twisted to one side. Two, you don't want one hiking up on the other. So let's do one more here. And now you're gonna glide back in and straighten your standing leg. So the right leg is straight and you can flex the toes up. And I'll keep the legs straight as you glide that machine in and out.
This one is.
And let's talk about the spine a bit here too. So I want you to think of a nice stretched out back. So you know, like a deadlift style back. So the core is locked in and the spine is straight. You don't want to see any hunching over or rounding in any part of the back. So that's what we're going for here. So I don't really love to see stretches where people like hunch over. So go for the length, tailbone back, top of the head forward. Okay, one more. Breathe in, take it out. And breathe out and bring it home. Okay guys, so just hop on over to the other side and we're gonna hit it on the other side. So starting with the lunge, we're gonna place the left foot forward close to the frame and the foot bar on the ground, right foot against the shoulder block, and then you're gonna glide the carriage out and glide the carriage home. So we're starting with the lunge stretch.
A little tighter here.
Yeah, and this is kind of like a unilateral move in a sense, like each leg is doing something different. So you'll feel maybe, you know, tight on one side, tightness different than the other, from the other side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
More in my, definitely more on my right hip flexor.
Yeah, and I see a little bit of a hiking on your left hip. So think of scooping the left glute underneath you. Yeah, I can definitely see like a little bit of a, yeah, that was it. There was a hiking in the hip. So like I said about hiking the hips, this is kind of happening here, a shortening on his left side. So he wants to reach the left side of the chest forward as he pulls the left side of the hip back.
Yeah, I feel that a lot more on my left hamstring when I just did that.
Yeah, this is getting really twisted right here. Yeah. Okay, so let's take it to the hamstring stretch. So straighten your leg, and reach your chest forward as you pull your hips back. So before you even go out again, pause. So on this side, you definitely have some imbalances. Yeah. So I want to focus, tuck your back and round it a lot. Scoop, scoop, scoop. So this is what we do not want to see, right? Yeah. We want to do the opposite. I want you to try to tilt the tailbone back and create more of a neutral position in the spine. Right. Yeah. Okay, and then even if that limits your range of motion, that is fine. So when you take your pelvis into more of this neutral position, you're pulling the hamstring in the opposite direction that heel is flexing. It's going to intensify the stretch, which is good.
Huge stretch in my biceps femoris.
Yeah, okay, let's do one more. Breathe in, take it back. And breathe out, return it. So that's gonna be a little stretch warm up for the thighs, hips, and hamstrings. Now we're gonna stay on a red and a yellow. If that's too heavy for you, go down to just one red spring. Take a seat facing the back of the machine, grab onto the straps. Let's hold on those short loops. And this is chest expansion. So hold on to the short loops, 4 fingers through, thumbs are free, and bring the hands right by the waist so you feel tension, not just pause. I want you to really work the shoulder blade down the back and not just together. So energetically try to touch the floor, long fingers. Exhale, press the arms back, and then slowly come back forward. Yeah. Exhale to press back. So you can see that he's really using these upper traps here. So bring your arms forward. We're gonna take this down a notch. So remember, it's not about lifting heavy weight here like you're doing in CrossFit. That's not the goal. The goal is firing those smaller muscles and keeping really good posture and alignment. So if you're seeing this fire up on your body, then you wanna drop the weight. Okay, I wanna work lower. I wanna work these like lower traps. Well, you feel it because my hands are 5 degrees. And then the other thing, let's look at like base of the skull to tailbone. So he's got a little rounding in the low back. So we're really trying to tilt forward onto the sits bones. And then he has got some hyperkyphosis in his neck. So I want you to bring your head straight back towards my hand, but without lifting the chin. So tilt the chin down. Yeah, tilt your chin down like you're holding a tennis ball. Good. Tilt the chin down. So think chin into the throat. Yeah, that's it. Good. Nice. Is this hard?
I mean, yeah, it's just, I think it's like feeling tightness and all through even my legs sitting like this.
Yeah, and you know, you can, if you have a box, I would probably suggest that for a body type like this, just like really muscular and stiff. Last one. Good work. Okay, so we're gonna cross the straps now. Remember, you can go to longer loops if it's too heavy. We'll stay in the short loops for now. So I want a big rounded circle, a little bit below shoulder height. Moving from your shoulder blades and your lats, you're gonna pull the straps back and then slowly bring the arms back forward. So just a reminder that it's not bending the elbow to move the strap, it's moving from your back. Good. So now one thing I want to check is when you pull the straps back, you don't send your head forward. So I want to keep the back of that skull right over the tailbone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I'd probably even put you on a blue spring.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got some, this is firing like crazy. So his upper traps are puffing up.
I feel it in my lower traps and my mid.
Maybe you're just really built there.
Yeah.
Maybe I just want to keep warming my hands up. Okay, last one.
I'm gonna feel all down to the middle of my back.
Good, yeah, those are the spinal erectors. Yeah. So now keep the crossing of the straps and bring your elbows into your waist, and let's turn the wrists up. Okay, so what I'm looking for is that the front of the shoulders don't round in. So we're spreading the collarbone, and you're going to move just the forearms out to the side, and then bring your wrists back in line with your elbow.
How far do I want to try to get?
Really, it doesn't, there's not like a certain goal of how far you go. It's how far you can go without losing good alignment. Mm-hmm. So if the shoulders are hiking up or the front of the shoulders rounding in, you've gone too far. So it's gonna be different on everybody's body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and for him, so he's pinching his shoulder blades a lot together. So I want a retraction, yes, but not so much where it's creasing like crazy. I want him to pull his lats down his back. Mm. One thing I really like to say to my clients is think about carrying your kid around Disneyland on your shoulders. Like you would not be able to really lift your shoulders up. There's like all this weight pushing the shoulders down. That's kind of the energy you're internally creating. Mm-hmm. Good. Okay, let's do one more. And then gently release. Okay, so I'm gonna have you keep this strap and turn to face the camera. So I'm gonna have everybody turn to face the right wall. We're gonna be doing this on both sides. So if for some reason you're on a different side, that is okay. So let's hold the short loop with both hands. Wrap it around. I like to clasp my fingers, but if you have a different way of doing it, that's totally fine. I want you to imagine you're holding a big beach ball. Mm-hmm. So your arms will stay in this shape the whole time. Never closer, never lower, just in this exact position. Keeping your inside hip down, this left hip's going to stay planted. Twist towards your foot bar and exhale. And then come back through center. Good. So I want you to move a little slower and use your waist to twist and rather than the arms. Really nice. Yeah. Okay. When you're in the twist on the next one, pause, line up your nose, the center of your chest, and your hands. Yes, so see, that's where we want the head. A lot of times we think of twisting from our neck, where the rotation we're looking for, our neck is a lot more mobile typically, so we're trying to get that thoracic rotation. So focus on that center of the torso twist. Okay, last two. Yeah, that looks really good, babe.
That's kind of hard.
And last one. Good, okay, bring it on in. So place the inside hand that's holding the strap, put that small loop all the way up to the elbow. Yep, so that's that left arm. Hands come behind the head. Okay, so imagine your hands are kind of like a wall that you can push your head back into. So don't push your head forward with your hands, but rather press your head back into your palms. Yeah, relax the shoulders. We're going to for a side bend. So your inside hip, this left hip stays down as you side bend over towards the foot bar. Now press your head back and then slowly come up. So you're stretching the left waistline as you move into the side bend, and then you're exhaling to return. You're using the waistline to lift.
I see.
Okay? Press your outer left hip down as you go into that side bend to help anchor you to the machine.
Yeah.
Good, let's do two more. Breathe in, head back. Breathe out, return. Yep, lean that head back. That's it. Breathe in and breathe out. Good, and let's release. Good work.
That was hard.
Hard? Okay, so let's just flip around. So whatever side you didn't do, we're gonna start with rotation, thoracic rotation. Okay, so this is going to be both hands wrapped around that short loop, and this is good for you guys to see the opposite side of his body, what's happening here. So anchor the inside hip. Try not to let this hip twist as you turn towards the foot bar. We got that big rounded circle, and then we return. And like I said earlier, once you're in the twist, nose, center of the chest, and the fingertips should all line up. So you don't want it to look like this, and you definitely don't want it to look like that, because that means the arms did all the work. Make sure your back moves.
I see. Yeah. That makes sense.
Good. Yeah, so this is also obliques, right? It's rotation, but it's obliques. Yeah, looks good. Okay, let's do two more. Okay, and remember to breathe. And exhale, come in. Okay, so the hand closest to the shoulder blocks, slide the short loop or the loop up towards the elbow, and then bring your hands behind your head. Press the same hip that has the strap down as you take that side bend over towards the reformer, and then slowly return. Now when you're in the side bend, press your inside hip, this leg near the foot bar, sorry, the shoulder blocks down. Okay, so pause a little longer when you go into the side bend and press your head back. Head back, head back. Good, there you go.
That's the hardest.
Okay, so don't worry about doing a ton of reps. If you can do 3 that are better form, I'd prefer that than doing like 10. In Pilates, it's a little different than like weight training, right? We're not, but chin off the chest. And you guys can see that this gets really developed on him. So we're gonna just try to relax here. Okay, 2 more. Breathe in and out. Good, last one. Breathe in, relax your face, and out. Okay, release. How you feeling?
It's hard.
He's like trying to get out of the strap as fast as possible. Okay, so I wanna end with a pelvic curl. So headrest flat, head down on the headrest, and I'm gonna add springs for this because the red and yellow is just not enough. Let's go 3 red springs, or if you don't have my kind of balanced body reformer, that would be 3 heavy springs.
Head here?
Yeah, so headrest is flat. You're gonna lay down with your head in the headrest. You're gonna have his feet on the foot plate instead of even the foot bar, since this is kind of like a newer exercise for him. Okay, the higher the feet go, the elevation, it gets harder to really keep that carriage home. So I want you to walk your toes kind of off and have your heels completely planted. Good. Slightly turn your toes towards each other. So he's having a little hard time keeping his feet in parallel. Okay, so bring your knees towards each other. So knees track over the hips, arms rest down by the sides. Now you're going to imagine that you're pulling yourself into the stopper, not pushing yourself out. Yeah, so heels to your butt. So don't let the carriage move.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, you got it, okay. So he showed you what not to do. Okay, so you're pulling the carriage in, press those triceps down. We're having neutral, tailbone heavy. So the other way, yeah, ribs down. So get the ribs down without tucking the pelvis.
Got it.
Yeah, that's it. Now you scoop your pelvis and you start to roll up without the carriage moving.
Got it.
Good, then you pause right there, sink your rib cage, your mid back, your low back, your tailbone without flaring the ribs. So keep the ribs connected. Yeah, and then let's keep the knees in parallel. So you inhale and then exhale, roll up. Good. So what this is spinal articulation, right? So it's another mobility exercise. So it's kind of how I programmed this class, was for like the stiffer body. Doesn't mean that just stiff bodies need spinal articulation, we all do. Yeah, and you're sickling a lot on this left foot. So try to put some weight to the inner arch of the foot. Yeah. But maybe even take the feet wider, still parallel. Yeah, to give yourself hips a little bit of, yeah, so try to stand on my hand. Yeah, good.
I see.
See, that's where you're losing it. Bone by bone, roll it down. Okay, we're gonna go for 2 more. Yeah, so roll your inner thighs to the floor.
I've had trouble with this one. I know.
Yeah, I see it on the left foot.
Yeah.
So just something to work on. Okay, last one. Roll it up. And then remember, as slow as you can, scoop and roll back down like a slinky action.
Right.
Good, and then release. You made it.
That's good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, guys, thank you for joining us for
Thank you guys. For
Pilates for CrossFitters. Thank you, my trainee. How do you feel?
It's good. I think that I need to do this a lot more.
Did they feel like a lot of moves you don't usually do?
It's just a lot more body control, a lot of more body awareness, and the obliques and part. Even I can feel the arch in my foot, kind of.
Yeah, that was interesting, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of very small corrective things, but going through a kind of range of motion, which are with like enough resistance where it makes it very difficult.
You can feel it. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, good work.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys for joining us, and don't forget to subscribe to Pilates On Demand, and we will see ya on the next one.
Bye,
guys.